Alright everybody, welcome back to Otherworld Games. Today we have a Vegito aggro against Pan aggro. Pan obviously been getting a lot of support lately, turning into a very competitive deck, as usual. Vegito might be a little bit slept on. Deck does some fun things. It's a bit of a big engine. We'll see how this one plays out. Pan able to go very wide. A lot of the stuff in the new Vegito deck all come out for one, so it should also be able to go pretty wide. Alright, Pan's just going to open with a charge and pass. You gotta be careful with the Vegito deck. Sometimes charging or Z-charging things that you expect to see later that you might not. So we're going to get the leader effect here, Fish Out Batara. And there it is. Now the Vegito Z deck can actually awaken off of either of the Z unis. That both cost 2, the Bardock and the Vegito. Obviously, Vegito is better for this deck. It allows you to filter more, but sometimes when you just want a plus in hand size, or perhaps when you're playing an aggressive deck, getting the card draw and the blocker could also be pretty big. Vegito able to utilize those staple one-drop Vegitos. For anyone unaware, the Awakened side leader can free play one-drop Goku and Vegetos from the drop on swing, or can draw a card. So you just get to recycle those fusion pieces. A lot of the archetypal Goku Vegeta cards also Z-charge the opposing guy from the drop. So as long as you see your Vegetos fusion, should not be an issue. Pan coming out swinging. A lot of value off that SS4 Goku. Just like that, Vegito down to 5. Out comes Mighty Blast. Now normally, that Vegeta in the drop would be a great play here to clear the board, establish some pressure, Z-charge from the drop. It might prove costly having that in the energy. Alright, and we will see. That's one of the things about, if you don't want to Z-charge off the leader, maybe if your hand feels weird or you, like I said, you want that blocker, being able to awaken off the Bardock is not the worst thing. Vegito trying to stabilize here and manage that board a little bit. Able to answer the board to tie things up. Pan just so explosive though. Almost popped a marker here. Looks like it's going to be a no there. So we do have a little one-drop Goku blocker. We're going to see Dormant. It's another nice synergy with Vegito. You can pitch the one drops to activate Dormant and then just free play him back off the leader. We do see strategies of Universe 7 there for Pan. Something that might be pretty slept on. Pan able to go very wide and then just sit back and protect the board state. There it is, Defender of Life. Gonna get that free ping. Another one of the really great new additions for Pan is that Z Battle card. Able to bring him out a little cheaper. Yeah, you gotta clear that Bardock. If you're playing green and the uni comes out, your card just does way too much if it sticks. Looks like, yeah, there we're gonna see the life ping. So how is Vegito going to answer? I did spot the new Trunks promo, which is just so good for green. Another good generic green card. Now Pan, you gotta assume is sitting on Explosive Dance, but could just as easily be sitting on Gohan Counterplay. Alright, we're gonna get Purunga. So once again, Vegito just trying to keep up with the board state. Purunga, a nice answer to be able to clear out those barrier Saiyans. And we do have a Deborah discard counter. Another nice flexibility with Purunga there. You can just tap down the energy if you're worried about a Deborah hand rip counter. There it is, we're going to get free play from the drop, which will still draw you one. And there's that Vegeta I mentioned earlier. Just on play, pop something, and then him and the Goku both swing for 25. They are pretty counterplay vulnerable, but pretty good value. I would say they're must runs for the new Pan deck. So Vegito able to balance things out a little bit here. Typically you'd like to see a bit of a bigger board state out of Vegito than what we have here, but you could say the same about Pan. Another just great generic card is that Android 17 Duo in the energy there for Pan. Just another awesome generic red card. Come out early, get a couple of draws. Dormant able to clear out the last Pan remaining. Dormant is such a powerful card, but also at times can be very awkward. So you gotta go down 2 cards, you don't negate, and if your opponent is smart, they can come right out of the gate with a big double strike or crit swing or whatever it is. It really puts you in a weird spot. Here we have Mira Overwhelm. It's going to be a 35 double strike off the Pan leader. You do get to untap 1 and draw 2. The card lets you draw 1, Pan will let you draw a second. And then you get to untap an energy at the end of your turn. Yeah, and that's just a bad spot for Vegito to be in. Pan just sitting back here, expecting at least 1 or 2 hand rips. You have Hyper Rush to worry about, you have Father Son to worry about. There's a few different ways you can answer those. With 4 energy up, you have all the defense you need, you have counterplays available. You have potentially some activate battle shenanigans for red now. You do have the pay 1 Muddy Blast effect, neg something by 25. Just pretty good spot for Pan right here. We did just see Vegito dump a few super combos. Doesn't have a huge hand, not a very scary board state. And we do get explosive. Goku and Vegeta 4-drops in this Vegito deck do have nice interactions with Explosive Dance. They're both 15k, but they get the power boost on swing, and they Z-charge from the drop, so you're not going to have to pay as steep of attacks if you swing those into Explosive Dance. You'll just be paying the Z energy for the 15k, but still go up to 25 on swing. Is not bad. Pan is just sitting on a massive hand right now. Vegito not liking the Z energy there. Now Partara is a very powerful card. I really think that should have been a limit 1. There's some sequencing that could go a little better here, depending on your hand and obviously what your board looks like. But being able to free play the 1-drops off your leader, getting to Z-charge guys from your drop, and then just fuse into it's any 4 or less Goku or Vegeta, but just such a powerful card. And there it is. That is going to be a very big blow for Vegito. That's 25 dual attack just gone off the counterplay, but you will get to take the Gohan with you for the Vegito on play. Vegito has to just be, setting up some kind of defense here. Yeah, Pan's ability to just weave in and out of wide board aggro and then sit back and counterplay or just hard negate. You just draw so many cards. I feel like with Pan you're gonna see whatever you're looking to see. You just have to, wait for the right moment to kill your opponent. We're gonna get another Dormant here. It's gonna take the Vegito hand pretty low. Pan still with all their energy and a massive hand here. Gonna see another Senses Regained. Now typically what you would see out of Vegito is a little bit more Vegito play. I don't know if the hand's been weird or if the build has been weird, but only getting the one Vegito out that was immediately counterplayed definitely feels bad. Pan totally in the driver's seat right now. Gonna get another Defender of Life. Sitting on a pretty nice pump and barrier. This is one of those scenarios where, as a green player, I tend to lean a little more towards the green Goku deck. Being able to dormant, get the free 5k pump on your leader when needed, and then just immediately draw back a card that you pitch is really powerful. We're going to get Earth Destroying Kamehameha, and it will hit a Deborah hand drip counter. That has got to feel bad. Vegito tapped out. We're going to get another Strategies of Universe 7. Everybody just sitting on barrier except for Deborah. He obviously doesn't really matter. Now Vegito does have the ability to get Potara back pretty easily. A lot of the lists I've seen only really run 2 of the field. You just recycle it the whole game. I've never had an issue getting it back when needed, and there it is. We'll see Leader Swing, free play the 1-drop Goku, and just grab Potara right back. You do want to be careful swinging your leader first into a red deck. Obviously, Explosive Dance doesn't hit leaders, so if they do dance you, if you don't swing your leader first, you have another untaxed swing. If you swing your leader first, it can be a little awkward. Obviously not always an option when you don't have a board and you're potentially worried about Gohan counterplay. There's a nice little tech for a green Vegito. You do run the field, you do get access to the grade 8 Vegeta. Another great addition for Pan is that another SS4 Goku. There's a blocker, a lot of people don't realize there's a blocker, but also gets to combo from the drop. We are going to see Potara again here. That Vegeta is just a regular Vegeta. And out comes Hyper Rush. Now Hyper Rush, I feel like you're almost never going to get home with the triple strike unless you really whittle your opponent's hand down. But just being able to rip a random card, apply that pressure, draw 2, potentially take life for your opponent, maybe a victory strike matchup is stalling you out a little bit. It's just such a powerful card, you have to run it here. Pan promo, free negate. Able to shut off Hyper Rush. And again, another sequencing thing here, if you use the Vegito leader, you can pitch the pieces from under your fusion to boost your leader. So especially with red, you don't swing your leader first, fuse into whatever you're going to fuse, drop all the pieces, especially you're sitting here at 3 life, can then get the 10k pump and then Z-Awaken. Your leader's a 40k. Only for the turn, unless you run Peace Resolution, but that's a whole other conversation. Feels like maybe some of these guys are coming out a little late for Vegito, but another great new card. 19k dual attack, grab Potara. Draw another one off Potara. Now another thing for green you have to watch out for here, I don't think Pan's in a lot of danger, but if you go down to 2, your opponent still has the 1 energy up. You might be thinking, okay, I'm safe. But the new Trunks promo does come down for 1 and is a 25k double strike. So sometimes can be a little dangerous. We're not going to see it come down here. I guess Vegito's not liking his hand. I'm going to try to play some defense. I think it's just the hand's ability to draw. You don't feel like you're getting home there on the double strike, but I still think, I guess you save the energy for Mighty Blast. Or Dormant, or what have you. Now, Vegito can also run the King Cold Floodgate. We haven't seen yet, but that can be a great early game answer. Just to keep your opponent off long enough for you to establish a board. And then go into Dormant late game and just turn the turns off. Pan definitely in the driver's seat right here. I don't know how many Pan games will make it to 5 energy. It's just such an explosive deck. And we do have King Cold. We've already seen, I believe, just 1 Deborah. Might have been 2. Sometimes that can backfire. Pan making the Deborah a +3 off the leader can feel terrible when you're trying to stay alive. And there is another Deborah. Like we just talked about, leader will pump it, and that is a draw 3. So Bora obviously really important for those green matchups, but just a free, well not free, but just a 20k body when you're trying to close games out definitely doesn't hurt. Also a big fan of the Pan counter attack. A lot of people don't realize it's also a blocker. Typically will trigger the leader pump and draw, so you get a 20k blocker. And then you just able to creep ahead in board state yet again. We will see Mighty Blast here. Is basically another EDK if you pay for it. Or it can just be, I believe, a free 10k pump. This one's been decently back and forth, but I don't see how Pan doesn't just win here. And we are going to see Koitsukai. Yeah, it almost feels like every other card in the Pan deck is going to draw you something, or combo or free play something. This deck has, between just good red stuff and also intended Pan support, this deck's always been tough and competitive, but man, it has really exploded the last few sets, especially with the anniversary box. Vegito just trying to stay alive here. We're tapped out, the hand is looking small. Ban is just the army of 15k tiny swings. Gonna wear you down eventually. I think this is going to be game right here. Vegito really doesn't have a big hand. We're going to see one super combo. I guess just playing it out. And yeah, that'll be game.